Your mind is a garden. What you allow to grow determines the harvest of your life. The thoughts you allow to take root in your mind are not just ideas, they are seeds, and seeds always bring a harvest. If you keep planting weeds, negative thoughts, self-doubt, bitterness, jealousy, you cannot expect to wake up one day and see a garden of peace, joy, and success. The laws of life do not work that way. Every harvest is predictable because it is determined by the seeds planted. If you want to change your life, you must first change what you allow into your mind, because your mind is the soil of your destiny. Many people want a better life, but they are unwilling to guard the gates of their thoughts. They tolerate toxic thinking, and then they wonder why their emotions are unstable. Their confidence is low, and their hope is weak. They have allowed negative seeds to grow unchecked, and those seeds have produced a forest of fear, failure, and frustration. Negativity does not always come in shouting voices. Sometimes it comes in whispers. It hides in the little assumptions you make about yourself, the quiet doubts you let pass without challenge, the subtle ways you compare yourself to others. Every time you let these thoughts stay, you give them permission to build roots. And once roots go deep, they are hard to pull out. That's why you must be vigilant. You cannot afford to be casual about what enters your mind, because whatever gets planted will eventually demand to be harvested. If you don't want it in your life, don't let it in your mind. The mind is not a dumping ground for every opinion, criticism, or fear the world tries to throw at you. You are the gardener, and you decide what grows. One of the most dangerous things about negativity is that it feels natural. When you've lived with it long enough, you stop noticing it. You begin to think it's just who you are or how life is. But negativity is not part of your identity. It's a parasite feeding off your identity. It lives by stealing your focus, your faith, and your vision. It convinces you to give up before you try, to stay silent when you should speak, to remain small when you are meant to stand tall. And the longer you entertain it, the more it shapes your reality. Your external life is a reflection of your internal beliefs. If your mind is full of shadows, don't expect your path to be full of light. The battle against negativity is not won by accident, it is won by intentional discipline. Just as a gardener pulls weeds daily to keep the garden healthy, you must pull negative thoughts daily to keep your mind healthy. That means you cannot wait for the right mood to do it. You must take action, whether you feel like it or not. Every morning, check your thoughts like you check your outfit before leaving the house. Ask yourself, what am I allowing to live in my mind today? Does this thought serve my growth, or does it sabotage it? If it's a weed, remove it immediately. Do not debate with it, do not nurse it, starve it. Replace it with a seed of truth, faith, and possibility. You must also understand that your environment plays a huge role in what gets planted in your mind. If you spend your time around negative people, you will constantly be receiving seeds of fear, gossip, and complaint. It's like standing in a windy field where other people's weeds keep blowing into your garden. You cannot expect your mind to stay healthy if you let anyone throw their trash into it. Guard your company, because their words become your thoughts, and your thoughts become your future. Some people will not like it when you refuse to absorb their negativity, but remember, you are protecting your destiny, not their comfort. Another trap of negativity is self-talk. We often think our greatest enemy is outside, but for many, the most destructive voice is the one in their own head. You can defeat every critic in the world and still lose the battle if your inner critic is louder than your inner champion. The words you repeat to yourself shape your identity. If you keep telling yourself you're not enough, that you will never succeed, that your efforts are pointless, you are writing the script of your own defeat. Speak life to yourself. Speak hope, speak truth, speak courage. The tongue has the power to plant either weeds or flowers in your mind. Choose wisely. Negativity thrives in the absence of vision. When you don't have a clear picture of where you are going, it's easy for your mind to fill the gap with fear and doubt. That's why you must keep your mind fixed on purpose. Purpose acts like sunlight for the mind. It burns away the shadows. Every time you feel negativity creeping in, remind yourself of your vision, your goals, your reasons for moving forward. When the why is strong enough, the weeds of I can't and it's too hard have no room to grow. Finally, understand that stopping negativity is not about pretending life is perfect or ignoring challenges. It is about refusing to give those challenges the power to define you. You acknowledge reality, but you choose to respond with faith instead of fear, with solutions instead of complaints, with action instead of paralysis. This is not easy, but it is necessary. The quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life, and the discipline to guard your mind is the foundation. Negativity is like a slow poison that seeps into the cracks of your mind, and if left unchecked, it will dictate the way you see the world, the way you speak to yourself, and the way you respond to every opportunity. It doesn't shout its arrival, it whispers quietly, disguising itself as caution, realism, or even wisdom. And the danger is that most people don't even realize when they've allowed it to take the driver's seat in their lives. The mind is the battlefield, and every single day you are either feeding it with seeds of life or with seeds of decay. If you allow negativity to take root, it will grow into a forest of fear, doubt, and self-sabotage, shading out every ray of hope and vision you have for your future. Your external circumstances are often nothing but a reflection of your internal beliefs. And if your inner world is polluted, your outer world will eventually reveal it. People fail to understand that negative thinking is not passive, it's active destruction. Every time you replay your failures in your mind, every time you speak words of limitation over yourself, every time you focus on what you lack instead of what you have, you are constructing a prison around your potential. You become both the prisoner and the warden, and the chains are not on your hands or feet, they are on your thoughts. The moment you decide to shift your thinking is the moment the keys appear in your hands. But the shift will not happen accidentally. It requires intentional, disciplined renewal of the mind. Negativity often thrives because it has been fed for years. Maybe you grew up in an environment where complaining was the norm, where fear was passed down like an heirloom, where people believed survival was the only goal, not success. You might have been conditioned to believe that dreaming big is dangerous, that risk is foolish, and that hope is for the naive. But you have to understand that your upbringing may explain your patterns, but it does not excuse them. You are not bound to repeat the soundtrack of negativity you inherited. The beauty of life is that you can rewrite the script in your mind, even if you didn't write the first draft. The first step in breaking free is becoming conscious of the thoughts you allow to live in your head rent-free. Some people have been so used to entertaining negative thoughts that they treat them like friends, not realizing those friends are robbing them daily. You must treat negativity as an intruder, not a guest. That means questioning your own inner dialogue. When a thought says, "You're not good enough," stop and ask, who said that? Where's the proof? And why should I agree with it? If the thought can't serve your vision, it doesn't deserve your attention. But removing negativity is not just about elimination, it's about replacement. You cannot simply remove weeds from a garden and walk away. You must plant flowers, otherwise the weeds will return. In the same way, you must replace negative thoughts with truths, affirmations, and visions that empower you. Every morning, you should be feeding your mind with reminders of who you are, what you are capable of, and why you refuse to live beneath your potential. This isn't about pretending life is perfect. It's about refusing to let your mind be hijacked by defeat before you even try. And understand this: negativity is contagious. If you allow people around you to speak fear, doubt, and discouragement into your life daily, it will eventually seep into your spirit. You must be ruthless about the voices you allow into your ear. That may mean distancing yourself from certain conversations, certain media, or even certain people. It's not about arrogance. It's about protecting the environment where your faith and vision can grow. You cannot plant hope in a toxic atmosphere and expect it to flourish. Negativity will always try to disguise itself as being realistic. But what is realistic to a small mind is impossible to a big one. If you have a vision for your life, you cannot afford to let every negative report, every critical comment, and every doubtful voice dictate your next step. The mind that is free from negativity is not blind to challenges. It simply chooses to see beyond them. It understands that the problem is real, but so is the solution. And the solution starts with a mind that refuses to be defeated before the battle even begins. The truth is, the war against negativity is not a one-time event, it's a daily battle. You win it in the morning when you choose gratitude over complaint. You win it in the afternoon when you choose focus over distraction. You win it at night when you choose faith over fear. The more victories you stack, the more your mind becomes immune to the poison.